Hello, hello. Oh, welcome to Tapping Tuesday. I am on location because I got to run and see my best friend last minute. And I've been having a lot of fun just feeding myself being in her presence. So, um, yeah, hi from here. I can't ever wear my glasses because I just feel like it's a block of energy from reaching you guys. How are you today? Happy Tuesday. I hope that you've had a fantastic week. If this is your first time here, welcome. If it's not your first time, welcome back. Just to give a quick layout of what it is we do here, my name is Amanda, and I guide you in doing the overwhelm and trauma release techniques called EFT or emotional freedom techniques. Very, very simple and easy to do. But if you're not sure of the process, it can feel really complicated and vague and uncertain in how to really be effective in it. So that's what I'm here to do to help support you in experiencing it. I don't go a lot into the definitions of it. We have a lot of videos on our channel that give you a ton of support in that way. And the channel is EFT Universe. So if you type that into the search bar, that's going to pop up there. And you'll have many, many things to peruse there to fill your heart's content on understanding the science and the biology behind how tapping works. Um, Tapping is kind of the street name for EFT. The way that you can interact, if you would like to, is putting into the comment section just what's in your way, what's in front of you right now, what is something that you're carrying that you would like to release, what is something that you want that you haven't been able to bring to you, what's something that you're rejecting that you really wish you could hold on to, anything that's puzzling you, and those types of ways. There's a lot of things that make sense when you understand how the subconscious brain works. And again, I'm not going to go into detail on that, but hopefully you'll feel different by the end of our time here together today. And if you don't want to comment, you can participate without ever submitting anything. And I will guide you on what to do in that case, on how you can still make it personalized to you and you can still have a great release by the end of our time together. I'm sorry if the screen is bouncy. I have you guys set up on a bed on pillows. So every time I move, like the screen moves. So I hope I don't make you seasick. I will try to wiggle as little as possible. All right. I don't have any comments via email for this session today. I'm going to take a glance at what you guys have already put in. Hi, Richard. Hi, Snea. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. I'm happy to be here with you. And thank you for your suggestion. Hi, Mama Hutch. Hello, Richard. Okay. The correct feelings in the wrong place, especially in the place of abuse. So I need a little bit more help with clarity on that, Snea. Correct feelings in the wrong place. If you don't want to give details, that's totally fine. I'm just trying to think of how to ask for clarity. Um, do you mean the correct feeling, meaning who you want to be, but feeling like you're putting it in the wrong area, like where it doesn't belong, like it's a boundary issue, or like how do I still be myself in this scenario type of a thing? Um, how is it right? How is it wrong? I guess is what I need to know. And you can withhold information on the exact details of it, but just in a general sense. What's the right? What's the wrong? That's what I need clarity on. Hi, Dr. Scott. Hi, Lauren. Overwhelm. Okay, gotcha. All right, well, let's take a moment and just get grounded. If you guys want to continue to put comments in, hi, Bernice. Feel free. I'm just going to take a minute and get us centered and grounded. So let's go ahead and take a breath and let it out audibly. What we're doing when we do that is signaling to the body and the brain that we're releasing and relaxing right now. So let's do that again. Okay, and we're going to do a really simple presence technique. We do this most weeks, but I like to explain it just for anybody who's new to it. So you don't need to confirm by looking or by feeling, but we're going to concentrate on different parts of our bodies. Okay. So I want you to right now feel where the top of your head is in space. Where is the crown of your head? Where is that right now? I remember to breathe. How about the tip of your nose? Where is the tip of your nose right now? Just feel where in space the tip of your nose is. How is it doing? Does it need to itch? Do you need to scratch it? If you do, go ahead and scratch it. Where are both of your earlobes? And how about the space in between them? Feel where in space all of that is, your earlobes and the space in between. How about, let's see, armpits? Where are your armpits? Where are those right now? And breathe. How about the tips of your elbows and the tops of your hip bones? Your kneecaps. Where are your kneecaps? How about your ankle bones? The little parts of your bones that stick out, both on the inside and the outside of both of your ankles. Where are those? What about the bottoms of your feet? Where are the bottoms of your feet right now? How about the tips of your toes? If there was a light shining out from the tips of your toes, what would they be pointing at? What would they be illuminating right now? And let's take another breath. I'm going to take a moment and set an intention for our time together right now. It is my intention that as we are gathered here together as a community for this hour, that you're able to feel the energy of support and to feel that value of community in you and to know that it's real and you being here matters and that you are contributing by your presence and that you are accepted in this space, regardless of how you're showing up right now. You are accepted because you are showing up and you are wanted to be here in whatever space you are contributing, that you are welcome in this environment and you are offered support and to be seen and to be heard in this space. Whether you type anything in the chat box or not. And that it is my intention to offer you peace and comfort and freedom and excitement and empowerment and insight. And that may be added to you as support, that it may offer you scaffolding in giving you strength to release, and whatever it is that you need in this time that we have here together today. Okay, let's take another breath. All right. If your eyes were closed, go ahead and open them back up. We want to have our eyes open when we tap. There's some very specific times I might say close your eyes, but that's rare. That's an exception. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and tap on the side of our hands just to start. I know we haven't even picked what our first tapping is going to be, but given that I feel like there's some overwhelm, just some difficulty in being present that's hanging around right now, just starting to tap even before you address anything is helpful with that because you are drawing your conscious brain to the present moment. And hopefully, what's overwhelming you isn't happening right in this moment. If it is, it can still be helpful. It just may not feel like such a shift until we start actually talking. But just tapping, even without having anything in mind, can be useful. Okay, so I'm going to look and just see for other comments. Hello, curiosity. Acknowledging and processing the reframing. The universe is for me, not against me. Okay, and processing the reframing. So you can believe that. Okay. Hmm. All right. Interestingly enough, my first suggestion that pops up is to lean into not believing it. And I'll show you why, um, and give an example of how that can actually allow you to move forward into it. Okay, Snail, let's see. Feeling the need to care for the wrong person. Thank you for that clarity. I appreciate that. Okay. Mm, ugh, I know I'm going to pronounce your name wrong. Maya. I'm going to say it's Maya. Maja. Hopefully, that's a good guess. Overwhelm about the upcoming move. Okay, so we've had a couple of suggestions on overwhelm. Overwhelm is kind of what I'm feeling right now. So maybe that's where we should start. I'm just going back through the list of the suggestions that you guys have put in here. Yeah, let's start with overwhelm. Okay. I'm thinking about the phrasing that I want to use. I want to address it in like a really, really big sense. Like it's like I almost can't be present type of a sense. Like even this is too much for me right now kind of a sense because I don't think we've ever done it to that extreme. I would love to give you an example of that. Um this overwhelm that's too much for me right now. I think I'll be there. If you've got a different phrase that works better for you, maybe you're not feeling overwhelmed right now. You could use something else. You could say this confusion, this anger, this stubbornness, this fear, this grief. You can shift the word to be what's more appropriate for where you are right now. So anytime I say overwhelm, you substitute that with what fits for you. Okay. Even though right now I am struggling with this overwhelm that is too much for me to handle, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I am scrambled and I can't handle anything because this overwhelm is too much and nothing fits and I don't know what to do about it. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. As I am experiencing this overwhelm that is overtaking everything in me and outside of me right now, I still choose to try and offer myself something, even though right now I don't know what that is. This overwhelm, this intense overwhelm. Geez, sorry for the rocking. This intense overwhelm in my body. I'm using one hand because I'm holding my computer. You can still tap both sides. I just don't want to shake and make you guys dizzy. This extreme overwhelm in my body. This overwhelm that's covering everything. This overwhelm that's engulfing me everywhere. Remember to breathe. This overwhelm that's destroying me. We're catastrophizing right now. I'm looking for big words on purpose. This overwhelm that's the end of me right now. I can't see anything else. It's just this overwhelm. This overwhelm. When we catastrophize, we're asking our subconscious brain to validate or invalidate it. And when we make it too big, the subconscious brain says, I don't know if it's that big. I don't know if it's that strong. And then that's when we start to feel a little bit like a toehold where it stops the spiral. Even though this overwhelm may very well be overtaking my entire life, I deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, is it true that this overwhelm is overtaking everything, or does it just feel that way? Even if it feels this way, and it's hard for me to see anything else because of it, I allow myself to accept the validity of this feeling. Of course, I feel overwhelmed right now. Of course, this is where I am. Even if I don't like it, I can acknowledge that it makes sense. And I give myself permission to have all of the feelings that I have about this overwhelm. I allow them to release. I allow them to process. Maybe it feels so big and scary because I haven't allowed them out. I haven't allowed them a voice because I'm too afraid for them to have a voice. I'm afraid they'll get bigger. I'm afraid they'll get stronger. I'm afraid they'll become more powerful. Even if some or all of me is afraid of the power of this overwhelm, I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. This overwhelm, this overwhelm in my body. I wonder, what can I offer to myself to feel more balanced, to feel more supported, to feel more safe with this overwhelm? I know what I can't offer myself. That's why I'm so overwhelmed. That's what I've been focused on, is all of the things I can't control, I can't predict. And those things are hard. And maybe they're all true. I can't control them. I can't predict them. I can't make it better. But I wonder, what can I balance that with? What can I offer as a safety for myself? I don't have anything to offer myself as a safety. Are you kidding me? That's why it's so overwhelming. There's no safe place here. Maybe there's a safe place here. Whether or not at this moment I'm able to identify a safe place, I'm open to finding one. I'm open to receiving one. As I hold space to receive a safe place, I deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, have I been overwhelmed before? Yes, of course. Of course, I've been overwhelmed. Well, I may not know exactly how I made it out of that overwhelm before, or maybe this overwhelm is different, but what about the fact that I figured it out? Even if I didn't want to, even if it was really hard to go through, I still did it, right? So maybe this overwhelm is hard, but it really isn't all encompassing. I can trust myself that I'll make it through. And maybe it's more true to say, I just don't want it. Oh, I just don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want this overwhelm. I don't want to have to be strong enough to go through it. I don't want to have to figure it out. It stinks. And I deeply and completely accept myself in this space. And if this is my truth, yeah, I validate it. That doesn't mean that I can skip out on it, though. So, how do I support myself in this space? Maybe just by offering comfort. Maybe just by telling myself kind things. Maybe just by showing up in the same space. How do I show up in the same space as myself? Maybe not in a physical sense, because I am always myself, right? Maybe what that means is allowing myself to validate my own emotions. Maybe it means allowing myself permission to be where I am, and in not telling myself any type of judgment or any type of solution. Maybe it's just being kind. Have I tried that? Have I tried being kind to myself? Maybe my solution for my overwhelm is kindness. Kindness. Kindness for myself. Kindness in this hard place. Support. Warm words. A loving presence. I wonder, what could I say to myself that would feel warm, that would feel kind? Even as I experience this overwhelm, what would that be? Maybe I could just acknowledge it and say, yeah, this does suck. You're right. And I'm sorry you have to go through it. But I'm here. I'm here and I love you. I'm here and I'm trying. I'm here and it's okay to cry. I'm here and it's okay to scream. And maybe I know the perfect words. And maybe I have no idea right now. Whether or not I already know what to say, I hold space for those words to come to me. I hold space for my own support, for my own kindness, for my own love. And it may not fix this overwhelm, but it'll make it feel better. And I still have to go through it. But isn't it true that by helping myself to feel better, that is helping? And it is real help. And it's a real strength. It's a way to gain strength. I don't have to be mean to myself and push. I can also inspire myself. I can give this a try. I don't want to give this a try. Whether or not all of me is on board to give this a try, I hold space to do what feels safe for me to try. And as I consider ways that I can be kind to myself, even though I'm overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Pause. Let's take a breath. I hope that helps. A lot of times when we have a super huge emotion, whatever emotion that is, our first instinct is to push it away, to get rid of it, right? And a lot of times that doesn't work. And it can feel overwhelming and discouraging to try and find that solution. But if you just offer support, something to add to it, to kind of even it out, or to give it structure to not spiral any further, that can be a really good beginning point to give you that edge that you need to just feel like it's stopped being all encompassing. So there that is. All right, let's move forward. Hi, Jay. I'm so glad, Mama Hutch. Yes, that safety and tapping is a huge word because the subconscious brain, that's its biggest filter. Is this safe? Is it a point of survival? So adding that point in that this can be safe, this can be safe, this can be safe, this can be safe. Huge in releasing blocks and helping it to reconsider a point. Okay. Okay, so reframing and Snea on yours. Care for the wrong person. Just considering what the root, what the further cause of these things could be. That's why I'm pausing and where my brain is going. I wish I could speak it out loud more than I do for you guys, so that maybe it could be a process that you could use as well. So feeling the need to care for the wrong person. This could come from a place of it being put on you in an incorrect environment for you to have to be the emotional regulator for others. So an overreach of your own personal space, your own personal boundaries, of being told that it's your responsibility for someone else's happiness is a lot of places where that can come from. Giving your identity as what you can do for other people. This can be formed culturally, it can be formed religiously, it can be formed just within your family unit. Um, but a lot of places where it is really linked to survival because community is one of those things that our brains really latches onto hardcore, because we need community, right? We need our community, especially as a child. We're very reliant on those who care for us. So we really learn what those pain points are, what those key points are of where I have to show up as a certain value in order to be safe, in order to be valued, in order to be praised in my community. And then as we grow older, when some of those things might be getting questioned, um, it doesn't exactly shift in the brain until we address it. And so you can feel that pull of like, well, this is the correct value. So why am I not behaving that way? Or why does it feel wrong? If this is what's right, then why does that feel so icky in me? Sort of a thing. So let's see. Oh, I see Karen. Friday. Oh, so you mean a Friday video on the subconscious? I can do that of just explaining how that works. I mean, it's kind of a common thread through a lot of videos, but I don't know that I've done it just like point blank on that, like what I just stated. So I can totally do that. Thanks, Karen. I appreciate that suggestion. So let's, Snea, for yours, my beliefs. I want to make it pretty broad about like what I want to believe versus what I do believe, or what do I believe that doesn't allow me. Let's see. Let's start tapping because I'm going to kind of fall into this. Something about being wrong. Okay, this is how we're going to phrase it. That I don't feel permission from myself to choose how I want to behave, to choose how I want to show up. So it's like an internal battle. And I hope that that's hitting the nail on the head close enough for you, Snea. So the angle of this is I want to be empowered in a different way, but I don't feel permission from myself to do that. If that phrasing doesn't work for you, please adjust it. This is a little bit more specific than I usually do, but this is something I come across a lot in sessions. So that's why I'm choosing to be a little bit more specific this time. All right, here we go. Even though, as I consider my own behavior, I realize I don't have permission from myself to behave the way I want to. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I feel negatively towards myself in my own inability to choose what I want, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I don't have permission from myself to choose what I want, I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. My behavior. I'm going to stay right here. This behavior in my body, this behavior in my mind, this behavior I don't want. This behavior that just comes out. Why? I'm supposed to be my own person. I'm supposed to have control. I'm supposed to have choice. I'm supposed to have free will. I know all of the things. I've read the books. I have the quotes. I want this freedom. Why don't I have it? I feel so weak. I feel so confused. I feel so frustrated. I feel helpless. Even though some or all of these things are real for me right now, I deeply and completely accept myself. I accept myself because even though this doesn't make sense to me right now. If I think about it, I can figure it out. And I can have compassion for myself that this is where I am. This is what I was taught. I was taught this at a really young age. I was praised for this behavior. I thought it was right. Of course, this is the way that my brain operates. And I'm not choosing it consciously anymore. So I wonder, why is it still there? Why is this still a factor? Maybe it's because some part of me really holds on to that this is where I felt safe. This is where I felt loved. This is where I felt my identity. Okay, that's possible. But what about now? Why can't I let go of that? I wonder, are there parts of me that chose those things because they were hoping to be fulfilled in a certain way, and they're still waiting? Maybe those parts of me are waiting for acceptance. Maybe those parts of me are waiting for love. Maybe those parts of me are waiting to feel acknowledged. Maybe I wanted someone to feel proud of me. Maybe I'm waiting. And those parts of me are hurt. And they don't want to give up. They don't want to leave empty. Even if there are parts of me that are holding this space open in hopes to receive what feels needed, I deeply and completely accept myself. I have compassion for those parts. They've waited a long time to feel valid. They've waited a long time for what they're looking for. And I offer an understanding for myself that those parts feel this way. I didn't know any better at those times. I didn't know that there was a better way to feel these things, or that I may never receive them in the way that I thought that this was going to work. And giving up on that feels too painful. So I wonder, how can I offer these parts of myself something that allows them to release these things that we don't really want anymore? What is another solution that I can offer so that I can choose what I want? Solutions. Other solutions. New solutions. real solutions. Solutions for me, by me. My solutions. I wonder, can I go back to those parts of me and give them what they're looking for? Can I just offer it? Can I offer the acknowledgement, the love, the care, the approval? Can I go back to these parts and educate them and just explain and say, you know what? That's not going to work out real well. Let's try something else. Even if I can't do that in reality, the reality is that happened a long time ago, but it's still alive in me. It's still alive in my head. And even though I don't have control over my physical timeline of what happened a long time ago, I do have control over the timeline that exists in me. So it is my choice and it is my place of empowerment to go back to that place in my mind where it exists and make changes. Or maybe all I want to do is collect those parts and bring them to the present and say, you know what? This happened a long time ago. You don't have to be here anymore. Just come up here with me. Look at all these tools we have. Look at all these choices we can try. It's true that was your only choice, that was your only perception. That's not true anymore. Look at all these things we have. My choice, my perception, reality. What about real? What about when I have to interact with other people? What then? Well, that's a good question. What then? Maybe I'll behave the same way. Or maybe as I allow myself to feel differently inwards, it can become easier to feel differently outwards. Maybe instead of trying to push so hard against so many things to make it different outwardly first, I can start in a place that's safe, in a place that's empowering, which is inside of me. And as I make these tweaks and adjustments, these allowances, these shifts, these healings, maybe that will empower me to behave differently outwards. Starting within myself, allowing myself permission, allowing myself safety, allowing myself the freedom inside before I put any pressure on myself outside. And I release myself of these judgments. Yes, I am an adult. Yes, I have my own choices, but I'm also a conglomerate of my experiences. And that's okay if that takes time to shift. And it doesn't help for me to be unkind to myself while I'm trying. And this may be a long process. And it may take a lot of time and thinking and trial and error. Or man, I may be so ready for this. It may be really easy and I'm just excited and empowered and it happens like magic. Whatever way this comes to me, I accept it and I cheer myself on and I allow it. And as I allow myself this inner support without my outward judgment, I deeply and completely accept myself. Take a deep breath. I hope that was helpful. We know how you guys liked that. There are entire workshops that are kind of based around that whole framework. Miriam Nelson is doing. Did I say her wrong last name? Oh, now I'm panicking. Um, anyway, it's a ancestral trauma workshop, and a lot of that structure is in there. It has to do a little bit with also like the DNA research that's been presented, but she's got a lot of scaffolding to support that type of release. So if that hits some deep spots for you, look into doing that workshop. It's coming up, I think, next month. And anyone's invited. Normally, that's something that's preserved for EFT graduates of our certification program. But there's been enough interest that she's decided just to offer it for everybody. So just FYI on that. Okay. Change from the bottom up, starting at the source. Yes, very much. All right, let's go back up to the reframing of the universe is for me, not against me. Now, this is a huge one. And I love this so much. So thank you for bringing this up. I love this. This is our last tap of today. Um, so let's see. How do I want to explain? This is rooted in typically, where this comes from is self-betrayal. And the reason for that is at some point, likely in your life, if you feel this to any degree, it can be the universe, it could be um, feeling like the industry you're in is against you. The gender that you are is against you, the personality type, the group of friends, your family, just feeling like you have to fight. There's this just a what's the word? Dissonance, battle, just general unrest for you in life. You just don't ever get to be. Um, and that generally comes from sometime, usually really early on in life, you had a shock of a realization that hit you of, oh, I'm not safe. I'm not safe to be me. And it could be something super simple of I'm too energetic. I'm too busy. I'm too needy. Um, I'm too frail. Um, I have too many thoughts. I have too many questions. It doesn't have to be something big. It can be something big, but something where you said, I'm not a safe place for me. So I am also going to leave myself and I'm out of here because I don't and then yeah, that disconnect, that pull. So let's start tapping. But just keeping that in mind, that's as much as I'm going to lead you on that. And we'll see what comes up for you as we tap. Peninsky. Thank you, Richard. Miriam Peninsky. Um, for the ancestral healing workshop. Yes, thank you for that. So I'm going to use the words, let's see. Okay, I'm glad, Dr. Scott, that's connecting with you. I'm going to use the words, and because this is how Curiosity said it, I'm going to use the words the universe. But if it's a different framework for you, then you can replace that. I'm going to say, even though I don't feel supported by the universe. And you could say by myself and my workplace. If it's not that far reaching for you, replace it with the words that work for you. Even though right now, as I look at my life and the way things are going, I don't feel supported by the universe. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now, as I ponder how much I don't feel supported by the universe, I still choose right now to see that as it is. Even though right now I feel heavy feelings, as I allow myself to realize how much I don't feel supported by the universe, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I accept that this is where I am, even though it hurts, even though it's sad. It is my truth. It is how I feel. It is how I see things. It just is. I acknowledge how completely unsupported I feel. And I acknowledge how utterly abandoned I feel. Why? Why am I so alone? This isn't how it's supposed to be. This isn't what I'm told. How 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 do I get abandoned by the universe? I'm supposed to be one with everything, but I'm not. I'm left out. It's like it's everybody else but me. Even though right now, part or all of me believes I don't get to have it. I hold space that could change. Unsupported, completely abandoned, left behind, left out. Empty. No one. Even though right now It feels true that I have no one. I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. And I allow myself to release my feelings attached to this for now and step into curiosity. I wonder, how could it be true that there's no one? No one? Really? No one? I wonder, am I here? Am I present for me? Even if I am now realizing, no, I'm not present for me. I continue to hold space to see where this is going. I wonder, why am I not here? That's odd. It's painful too, but I'm going to put the painful on pause. And I'm just going to wonder, why? Why am I not here? Maybe I left. Why would I leave myself? Maybe I wasn't a safe place. Maybe I wasn't in a safe place. Maybe I had no safe place to offer myself. And the only thing that felt like a safe enough answer was to leave. It's a pretty big choice. So I offer myself compassion for making that choice. Oh, so much love to myself. Oh, self, I'm so sorry. Goodness, what a big decision. I wonder, is that still true? Is there still no safe place? Or am I feeling these feelings about the universe, about feeling empty, no support, that it's not there for me? Because part of me is trying to say, it's ready to come home. Maybe I have succeeded. Maybe I've succeeded in creating enough of a space that it's safe now for me to come home. Safe. A safe place for me. A safe place for me to be home. Home with myself. Home to see myself, to see my feelings, to see my thoughts, to acknowledge my actions, to experience my life. Maybe I'm ready. Okay, but how does this bridge to feeling like the universe isn't here for me? Well, I wonder, if nobody's home, who's the universe going to come to? Maybe the answer is for me to show up and open my home to the universe. Maybe if I show up, then the universe can easily follow. It can be my plus one. I may have apprehension about showing back up, and that's okay. I may have confusion about figuring out how to even do that, and that's okay. Even though right now I'm not sure how to complete this goal, I hold space for myself to figure it out. And maybe it's enough to want it. Maybe it's enough of a beginning to say, this is my intention. Maybe it's enough to say, hey, self, I hear you, and I want to come home. I know we're over. We're going to finish in just another minute. Coming home. Coming home to myself. Coming home to my present. Coming home to my body. Coming home to my mind. Coming home. Having a space to receive. To receive the universe. No more forwarding address. Being at home. Being easy to find. Having a foundation for receiving. As I give myself permission to return home, I allow myself to discover how to do that in my own time. I allow myself permission to figure out how to do it in a way that feels safe. I allow myself permission to do it in a way that feels exciting and empowering and fun. And whatever emotions that come up as I do this are totally valid and completely allowed. And as I allow myself to come home in whatever way suits me best, I deeply and completely accept myself. Keep tapping for just a second. It's a big shift, so just giving our brain a little bit of extra time. Okay, I'll pause and breathe. That's a big one. Oh, but such a lovely one. Oh, I love it so much. I hope that was really empowering for you. What a great session. Thank you so much for your suggestions. I love how you guys show up. Thank you so much for being here and for speaking up and offering up where you are so that you can be validated, but also in the way that you validate each other. You know, it's so helpful and it's so collaborative, and I appreciate each of you so very much. It wouldn't work without you. So thank you. I have so much gratitude and love for you. And thanks for sticking around for a few extra minutes. Yeah, we go till we're done, right? Have a wonderful week. And I will be thinking about you and I'll be holding space for you. If you ever have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if there's something you want to tap on, please feel free to email me. I can always bring it up anonymously so that you can still see a way to tap on it if you're struggling with figuring out how to do it. I am here for you. My email is at the top of the chat. I always type it in right after I say hi, but I also speak it. It is Amanda at EFTuniverse.com. All right. Mwah! I'll see you next week.